Hey everybody, welcome back to my art channel. So I hope everyone has had a wonderful week, and we are now continuing with the video series that we had started last week. This is one of two videos. This is the second one of a custom piece that I had been working on recently. And in the first video you saw how I went from basically a blank canvas with a quick sketch that I had laid out for myself and worked on into a black and white landscape, followed by a little bit of color. So that's sort of the style that I have adapted to recently, and it's something that I really rather enjoy. As I said last week, it really takes the headache out of figuring out what you want to paint, because there are definitely times where there are just so many ideas going through your mind and you know exactly how you want your piece to look in terms of subject, but sometimes the colors just get in the way. You're after a certain tone or whatever else, and you end up spending hours trying to get the right color, and then just something doesn't pull together. So you either end up giving up on the piece that you're working on, or it doesn't come out the way that you want. So I've gone and I have found a way to split up that process by just working in on the subject itself by doing a black and white layout to begin with, and then I do a thin color layout on top so that I can focus on the colors and the tones and the hues that I'm after the subject itself has been created. So it's a lot less of a headache, and it doesn't get me bogged down when it comes to my imagination, which sometimes that can happen. So this piece is the remaining of the color portion, and as I said, I've gone from black and white to a lot of blues, and then at the very end I'm adding in all the highlights, and on this piece I'm using a combination of both acrylic paint and watercolor paint. So my initial black and white layer is mostly acrylic. Actually, it's all acrylic, as I'm creating the base layer, and then later on when I do the color layer, I will switch back and forth between acrylic and watercolor. I find that while you can use you can use acrylic to do what I'm doing, I'm just finding that there are limitations to that because of the way acrylic paint is created. There's a bonder, and then there is a coloring agent, and essentially if you water acrylics down too much, you'll end up with paint that could potentially flake off in the future, whereas watercolor is meant to be watered down. It's meant to be brought down to its basic level. So worst case scenario, you can completely thin out a color just to get a very hint amount of hue without any issues. So if you would like more info on that, feel free to comment down below, and maybe in a future video I'll explain a little bit more about that. But anyway, so yeah, so this piece took me a lot longer than the pieces that I've been working on most recently, as a lot of the ones that I have been doing are much smaller, and this piece was a 20 by 20 size canvas, 20 inch, not centimeters. But this piece is now complete, and as you'll see just in the last remaining images of this video, you'll see how I broke it down really simple, how I went from basically a blank canvas to the black and white portion to the color portion, which is the final result of the image, or the piece rather. So this concludes this particular project, and I will be back next week with something new. So I hope you all stay tuned, and I will see you all again very soon, or rather talk to you all very soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all really rather enjoyed it, and if you did, I highly encourage you to like, share, and subscribe, and to come back next week for a new one, as I upload new videos weekly. If you would like to see more of my artwork, you will find them on my website, which I have listed down below, and I will link that and all of my social media connections in the description below. Again, I thank you all so much for checking in and seeing what I've been up to and supporting this channel up into this point, and I will see you all again in the next video. Bye.